Okay, so what I'm going to do for the first probably about an hour odd is give you a basic introduction to the CFA program, what's expected of you, what's not expected of you, how much work. Everyone tells me 300 hours. We'll talk about that. Okay, and we're going to go through it all slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, how many guys are, everyone writing this is the first time, second time? Anybody? First. Most first. Okay, so we'll go through a bit of a more, I've got one guy in level 2, okay, and please don't take this as a benchmark. Of course, it's not what we expect. He's now doing, he's come to us for the first time now, and I had a chat with him. He said he's written level 2 quite a few times. So I said, you know, few can mean anything. So the few came out to be, this is his 7th attempt at level 2. Okay, as I said, please don't use that as a benchmark. Okay, not something to aim towards. Okay, but a lot of guys, this program is, before I tell you how difficult it is, everyone paid their CFA fees at least, so you can't take that back. Okay, guys, this is a tough program. Okay, this is a very, very tough program. Now, if we have a look, what makes the CFA program so hard? Okay, how many, any chartered accountants here? Okay, was that hard? Hey? Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. But the two things in my mind that make the CFA more difficult than the chartered accountant, and obviously on the chartered accountant side, you know, I'm not knocking any designations, guys, because I'm a chartered accountant myself. So I don't think I'm knocking the CAs. I'm one of those as well. But what makes the CFA a difficult designation, number one, okay, we don't know what the pass mark is. It makes it a little bit difficult to work with. Okay, I had the head of the CFA Society Institute he visited us about a year ago from New York. A guy, Paul Smith. If you get any emails, it's mainly from him. He's the head. And I asked him. I said, "What's the pass mark?" I said, "Now that you're in my office, you can't go anywhere. You're going to answer all my questions." I said, "What's the pass mark?" He said, "Haven't you read that thing on the CFA website that describes how?" I said, "It's nonsense, man." I said, "No one can make any sense of that. It's got graphs and it's got pictures and it's got, I don't know what even it means." He said, "Yeah, you know." Anyway, he won't tell me. They won't tell you. Okay. Having said that, guys, it's generally accepted the highest possible mark that you have to get to pass is 70. 70. That's high. Okay, it's a tall order. 70% is a tall order. Okay. Most likely, it's probably around between 63 to 65%. Okay, that's more or less where it's likely to sit, but you're guaranteed to pass over 70. I've never seen anyone over 70 that hasn't passed. Okay, that's the first thing that makes it difficult, is the pass mark is high. Okay, what happens, let me ask you this, all the guys that have done a varsity degree, in particular the chartered accountants. Okay, what happens when you get your final marks and you see 50, 50, 50, 50, 50? What does that mean? Do you think you got 50, 50, 50, 50? No way. You got 148, am I right? 149, they pushed you up a little bit, they helped you a little bit. 47 and below, they don't care, do they? But they give you a little bit of a help. So when you get 550s in your CTA year for the accounting guys, you never got 550s on the nose, did you? Okay, so but the CFA, there's 250,000 guys writing worldwide. Okay, this company works like a machine. Can you ask for a remark? All you can ask for is for them to tally up your marks again, to recalculate. But it's done by a computer. They didn't mess up the calc. Okay, so unlikely. So it's a very professionally run organization. It's a tough organization. Okay, guys. But having said that, it is a world-class designation that you're looking to achieve here. Really, I mean, it's a world class. But it works in their way. No one knows how it works. We never get to see the back workings behind it. Okay. I don't know how they set their papers. They won't. We are a preferred service provider to them as Edge, but they just tell us a little bit more than they really tell you. So it's not. We don't know. I don't know what's on the paper. I don't know anything of anything. Okay. So what makes it hard? Number one is the pass mark. It's about 70% on the max. And that's why, guys, please, I don't want to hear, but the Chinese are writing in June. Forget the Chinese. The Indians are writing in December, so what? They're also clever. So are the Americans clever. Russians are as clever. Okay. What we're going to learn very quickly within this designation, guys, that people that do this designation and take it seriously are clever. You're up against the good. Your competition is good. We're going to work out how to beat them. Okay, but you're not in there with any fools. You obviously are not, and neither is anybody else that's doing this, whether they're Chinese, Indian, American, Brazilian, Portuguese, who cares? We're going to find a way to beat everybody. Okay, number one. Number two, okay, you see the files that you've got. That's study session 1, 2, and 3. How many more are coming? 15. There's 18 overall. Okay, there's a lot of work, guys. The workload is big. Okay, don't be fooled. That's these particular 3 readings, ethics and quants, are particularly large ones. We're likely to get the remaining 15 study sessions into 2 files. Maybe I might need a third. So this is just to scare you a little bit. I hope it's done the trick. Okay. But yes, guys, those are your 2 big things. Number 1, the pass mark is high, and number 2, guys, there's a lot of material to go through. On the good side, it's not hard. There's very seldom do my guys come out at the end and say, "Sure, that topic was just crazy and difficult and hard." Okay, nothing's easy here. It's work, of course, but it's not crazy difficult stuff. This is not quantitative physics or anything crazy like that. So we're going to work, guys. We're going to really work. 2 things. The pass mark, we've got to just keep that in the back of your mind. Don't let that debilitate you. It is hard, but you can get there. And number 2 is there's a lot of work we've got to get through. Okay. Let me just talk briefly about the exam itself before we get back to how many hours, which I'm sure you all want to know. Are any guys repeating? You don't have to be embarrassed because it's 60% of the guys repeat. So doesn't matter. Okay. Let's have a quick look. So, what does your exam look like? It's on the 23rd of June this year. Okay, everybody's got to be very thankful for Ramadan, whether you believe in it or you don't. Okay, but because of that, they pushed the exam off from it's normally the 2nd of June. It's been pushed off to the 23rd of June. So we are very grateful, guys. Okay, that 3 weeks is huge, because that's at the end of the period, and it's going to give us so much more time to revise and to really solidify the information. So this is a once-off chance that the guys have got. I really try to tell the guys that whoever can right now in this particular block, you're getting a month more than anybody else ever gets to write this paper. So, this is great. Grab a file. Okay, so what does your exam look like? You arrive on Saturday morning. Only 2 groups of people can write on Sunday if you're Jewish, or you're a Seventh-day Adventist. You get to write on Sunday. They make you sign about 1 million forms to make sure that you didn't talk to anybody that wrote on the Saturday. Okay, but otherwise you guys will be writing on Saturday morning. You get there, your first session starts at 9 a.m. Okay, you got to be there a little bit earlier. You take your seat, etc., etc. You write for 3 hours. You write 9 to 12. Okay, grab a file. Okay, it's 120 multiple choice questions, guys. Okay, and the maths is easy. Okay, I'm glad someone sat in the front now. I was beginning to think it was me. Okay, don't go so far. Okay, next week I'm going to put us in a smaller class, then you'll all have to sit close to me. Okay, it's 9 to 12, guys. What's the format of the paper? It's 120 multiple choice questions. In the morning, 9 to 12. You get a 2-hour break, but you don't really, of course, because by the time you leave the room at 12 and they've collected all the papers, till the time that you've left, normally it's the Santon Convention Center, and you've got to be back normally 45 minutes before, by about 1:15 to write the 2 o'clock paper. So it's not, don't kid yourself, you don't have 2 hours break. It's a little bit soul destroying when you think that you've got this 2-hour break and you think, okay, 2 hours, 1 hour for a bit of a rest perhaps, and half an hour to eat, and 10 minutes for the bathroom, and whatever. You don't. You've really work on a maximum of an hour break that you have to do whatever you want to do. And guys, you write 120 questions in the morning, okay? And you come back and you write another 120 questions in the afternoon. Okay, what sections are covered in the morning? All of them. And what sections are covered in the afternoon? All of them again. Okay, so there's no, they don't focus on any specific section in any particular period. So you write both in the morning and both in the afternoon. Okay. Now, the maths is easy, guys. 120 questions, 3 hours, 180 minutes. How long have you got per question? Okay. 180 minutes for 120 questions, 90 seconds a question. Okay. That's quick. By all accounts, that's quick. Okay. So if we want to add that to our third slight difficulty for this designation, okay, 90 seconds a question. They call level 1 the financial trivial pursuit. Okay, and the reason that they call it that is because, and I mean this respectfully to the level 1 guys, of course, but you'll see level 2 and level 3 is much more integrative, the knowledge. You've got to take that knowledge and you've got to apply it, and you've got to really work with it. Level 1, the good thing, so you've got 120 multiple choice in the morning, 120 in the afternoon, 240 questions, and they all are not linked at all. So, good news for you guys, if you see one and it's really hurting you, what do? You wave it goodbye. You don't let it hurt you. You don't worry about it. You say, I don't know that one, but so what? Who cares? I'm allowed to leave out a couple. Leave it alone. And we'll see the trick because we're going to go through a ton of exam technique, how to answer the questions, how to answer everything. That's the good news. That's lovely because anything that you don't know, you can just wave it goodbye. Obviously, you don't spend a lot of time on it because that's just going to kill you, isn't it? Because you don't know it anyway. So now you're trying to work it out and spend a lot of time on it. It's just killing your time. And that's their favorite trick, isn't it? They try and make you work on things that perhaps you wouldn't get anyway. So leave it alone. Okay, don't let that upset you at all. However, 90 seconds a question. You're going to move. Okay. That's going to be, that's why they call it the financial trivial pursuit, because each one's a separate question. No, but you've got 90 seconds, you've got to answer quickly. It's almost as if, they turn that little hourglass over every time. 90 seconds, 90 seconds, 90 seconds. You've got to watch your time. You've got to watch your time. Okay. The good news, okay, is we are going to make you, just like, have I got any runners in the house? Any exercise enthusiasts? Okay. You don't just go and run 42.2. That's a marathon 42.2, am I right? Okay. You don't just go and run 42.2, do you? What do you do first? You run, like I do, 3 kilometers. And then I always tell people, I normally do 4 kilometers during the week, a few times a week. And on Sunday, I do my big run. But I like to keep very fit. So on Sunday, I do my big run. But I've got lots more time on a Sunday. So instead of my 4, I do 5. Okay. I'm getting older. My knees aren't as strong. I do 5. Okay. I'm not taken in so much by the big marathon. I know it does. There is a desire for a lot of people to do more. I keep just to keep fit, guys. But having said that, guys, okay, what do? You go from 3 to 4 to 5 to 7 to you become fit, don't you? Slowly. We're going to do exactly the same thing over here, guys. Okay. With the program is we're not going to start to make you do all your questions in 90 seconds. We start off, we do the questions. You take 2 minutes to do them. Doesn't matter. Get the knowledge, build up your base, build up your understanding and your knowledge. Over time, we're going to take that 90 what you're now answering questions in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. We're going to get it down to 2 minutes. Get it down to eventually 90 seconds by the time we do. How do we do this? Okay. If you have a look at our program, guys, every single reading has got lots of questions behind there. You must, as much as you can, guys, okay, you must try and do those questions when you leave us after class. Okay, that it's vital, okay, that you practice, and practice. There's going to be no shortcuts in this process. We'll discuss how to do that in a second. In addition to the class, you've got questions to do. In addition to that, you've got 8 tutorials on a Sunday. No one's got families, huh? Am I right? Okay, just kidding. Well, you don't have for the first 6 months. Okay, having said that, guys, okay, Sundays, when we do tutorials for 4 hours, we show you how to answer questions, we show you how to, we build up on your speed, on your fitness levels. Very important that you come on a Sunday. If you can't come on a Sunday, guys, it is recorded for you. You'll find a time that you can do it, perhaps maybe a Saturday, whatever. Oops, hope no one's hurt themselves there. Grab a phone. No worries. Okay, so if you can come on a Sunday, all the better. There's 8 sessions. If you can't come on a Sunday, it's recorded for you anyway. You'll find a time to do it on your own. Okay. When I talk about family, guys, everyone laughs. Okay. However, okay, this program is too difficult to do without the support of, it's not impossible, but you need the support of your family. When I say family, husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it is, mothers, fathers, whatever you have as your family unit, because you're going to be spending a lot of time studying, and they're going to say to you, what are you actually studying all the time? Don't you know it by now? Okay? No, you need a lot of, this is there's one recipe for success for this course. Only one. That's it. Easy. One thing. All you got to give me is one thing. Is a cast iron behind. You've just got to sit. You've got to sit in the morning, or you've got to sit at night, or you've got to sit in lunchtime, whenever, whatever. And I always tell the guys, it's not for me to tell you when to work. I'm a morning person. You know, I'm up early. I can get, you know, by 8 o'clock I've done most of my day normally, because the rest of the day I'm busy with a lot of other stuff, lecturing that. So I get my first 4 or 5 hours done before mid-morning even. Some people are not morning people. That's fine. Try to talk to me after 10 p.m. I'm not fun, guys. I'm not a night person. Okay. Some people can work 10 p.m. till 12. Good. Some people get a long lunch hour. Some people are not busy at work. But what we're going to find, what we're going to design for ourselves is a system that works for you, okay, in order to work. Grab a phone. Okay? In order for you to work as best you can under whatever situation you can work, guys. Okay? But I'm not going to tell anybody when to work. I'm just going to tell you how much to work, okay, but not when. And not how. Okay. Now, we're going to get back to that. That's the central theme. All I ever talk about, guys, is putting your bum on the chair. That's all. Nothing more than that. I don't want anything more than that from you. I just want your time. It's a big ask. As I said, guys, speak to your spouse. Speak to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mother, your father, whoever else is important in your life. Okay. My fellow lecturer, Paul, I don't know how many guys have met him. Paul Burkett, what a lovely guy. Okay. And Clever too. And he says there is an inverse relationship, okay, between your happiness and those that pass CFA. Okay, which means, okay, the more miserable you are, and the more friends that you lose, and the more people you annoy because you can't go out to them all the time in this next 6-month period, the more the more likely you are to pass the CFA exam. And it sounds funny, but really, guys, it's a direct relationship between passing this paper, guys, and the time that you put in. If you had to ask me you put 2 guys in front of me, the genius and the hard worker. For CFA, I'll take the hard worker any time of the day. It's just about hard work. Okay, for the chartered accountants, and I'm not knocking them, you know I'm not knocking them. I'm one of them, and I love them, but I had one guy walk in here. Okay, 3 years ago, a CA, and he walks in like this. Hi, I'm not going to say the name. I said, hi, nice to meet you. He says, I want to tell you something about your CFA program. I said, oh, here it comes. Okay. I passed CA first time. I said, well done. It's an achievement. He said to me, he says, and I will also pass the CFA. Based on that, the CFA exam is going to be easy for me. So I said, oh. Okay. I said, if I could just give you pause for a second and just tell you, treat the CFA with the level of respect that it so richly needs, deserves, and requires. He tells me. Okay, he wrote level 1 3 times. He passed CA first time, he wrote level 1 3 times, and now he's writing his level 2 for the second time. Okay, guys, this is a hard exam. It's by no means impossible at all, but it does require that you really give it. You put yourself out for this paper. You know, I had one guy as well said they're going to try CFA. I said, whoa, don't try CFA for two reasons. Number one is it's not the kind of exam that you try. You've got to work. You've got to want to come in and do it. And then if you do and you want to work at it, you will achieve. I have no doubt. But don't come and try it, because then already you're one stage back. You're going to give it your best. Okay? I know people have things going on in their lives. I'm not saying they don't. Okay? We'll build that into the program. But I had one guy also phone me, says to me, phone me in June. He's going to write the December paper. Last year. But he's getting married in September. So I said, for a day. He says, no, he'll be out for about 2.5 weeks. But don't worry. He's clever, he tells me. So I said, you and everybody else. I said, I don't advise, I'd rather write in the June paper when you can give it your all. He said, joking. Okay, he did write in June, but for the second time. Okay, guys, I'm being very serious, guys. You've really, from today, when are you going to start working? Tonight? Not tonight. Some people are not night people, so you can start tomorrow morning. But guys, really, I beg of you, give it your best. Give yourself the best chance. Because if you go in half-hearted, it's just going to hurt you. You're not going to make it. Okay? And this is one of the things when I say to you guys, who are your competitors? Who are your 250,000 competitors worldwide? Don't tell me Chinese. Chinese don't mean nothing to me. Indians, whatever. Brazilians, Portuguese. Grab a phone. Okay? Everyone that's writing this paper, okay, is clever. Okay? How do we beat them? Two ways we beat them. Okay? The key way that we beat them, guys, more importantly, is we put in more time than them. Number one, and the time that we do put in a clever way. Those are the two ways. We use our time productively, okay, and we use that the time that we use, we make a lot of time. Okay, so we're going to get back to that in a second. Okay, let's have a quick look. So if you have a look at the different levels, guys, level 1 is obviously where you guys are. The key focus is on the facts. As I said before, guys, a lot of people call this financial trivial pursuit, level 1, because there's 240 questions, 120 in the morning, 120 in the afternoon, and you've got to just pump out the answers in 90 seconds a question. Okay, it's a tall order. The best word I've heard, one guy came out and he said, it's completely grueling. And it is, but so what? We're going to work at it. As I said to you guys, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. We're going to build ourselves up day after day after day, week after week. We're going to write. Sorry, I wasn't completely honest with you guys to get you here. Sorry, I apologize for that. But in addition to what we do, I also make you write tests, by the way. Okay, so sorry if I lied. Okay, I'm not really sorry. Okay, because it's all for your benefit, and I mark them for you, and I give you results the same day, and I'll break down your results for you, and I'll show you where you're strong and you're weak. We're here to help. We're going to work with you. But you've got to give me the bum. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for your time. And when you guys hear them say 300 hours, and they've even named a website apparently, 300hours.com. Seriously? I mean, how stupid is that? That everybody can pass this paper with 300 hours, all the different people in the world? Okay? No. Guys, a little bit more than that we're going to need, more than 300 hours. And you'll find your way, guys. I mean, the chartered accountants, the CAs, are going to look at this section over here. Let's just skip to it, section number 4. Okay? Financial reporting and analysis, and they're going to say, this is easy. Is this all that they want? Okay? But then I'm going to take them through to the derivatives, and then the dealers and the derivatives are going to say, this is easy, but they're going to battle with the frost. So everybody has got their strong section, and that's why I say I don't care about the Chinese. Okay? The Chinese people can't know all of these 10 sections brilliantly. Okay, everybody's got strengths, everyone's got weaknesses. Where you're strong, you'll work on that. And where you're weak, okay, we're going to put a bit more effort into that. Let's just have a quick look at what they're asking. So, number 1 is ethics. Okay, guys, ethics, we'll do a little bit of ethics tonight, but ethics is the same for what? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Exactly the same book. We'll use the same book for 3 years in a row. What's the weighting in level 1? 15%. Level 2? 15%. Level 3? 15%. Guys, we've got an ethics problem out there, as addressed by the CFA. Investment professionals, what do you think? Do you think we trusted out there, guys? Horribly not, unfortunately. We've got a crisis on our hands at the moment, and the CFA is addressing it. Okay, but and they're putting 15% of the syllabus just into ethics. Okay, we're the least trusted profession out there, even worse than lawyers, guys. It's bad. It's bad out there. No lawyers here, hey? Okay, my wife's a lawyer, so I can joke around a bit. Okay, ethics, and it's 15%, guys. We're going to kill ethics. Okay, next one is quants. Not easy, probably one of the most difficult sections if you are not a quants person. We do things like, and it's 12%, but guys, don't stress about that, because even within that, if I talk to you, how's your hypothesis testing, and you think, oh my word, I thought I left that back in varsity. Okay, remember, of that 12%, there's 8 sections. So if you don't know hypothesis testing, it's one of the 8. Okay, some of the easier ones, there are time value of money. You'll score some marks there. Don't write off quants just because there's a few sections within quants that you don't like. Okay, but not an easy section. Okay, 3 is economics, 10%. Okay, some love it, some don't love it, is what it is. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Financial reporting, this is your biggest section, your FRA. Everyone calls it, if you hear the guys talking about FRA, FRA is financial reporting and analysis. You go through, for the accountants, they'll be a bit more familiar with this, you go through all of the accounting standards. Okay, the difficulty over here, okay, you guys are all used to what's called IFRS. Okay, as our South African accounting system, we use IFRS. What do the Americans use? US GAAP. Okay, who's the 3 biggest economies in the world, guys? Give me the 3 biggest. America, China, number 2, number 3. Japan. Germany's probably the biggest in Europe, but it may be a 4th or a 5th. But in terms of, you've got your big 3. If memory serves, those are your big 3. Now, have a look at those big 3. What does the US account for? US GAAP. China? Chinese GAAP. Japan? Japanese GAAP. Okay, so we've got to, and we'll see that under the financial reporting section. Why don't they all talk to each other? Let's just have one system called IFRS, but you'll see all the complications in trying to get everybody to talk to each other and why they don't, and the massive political and other undertones that are preventing this. Okay, we'll look at that, but it's 20%, guys. If you don't like accounting, okay, start to like accounting. Okay, guys, it's too big. Okay, and I brought in she's just finishing her 3rd year, 3rd level CFA. Okay, and she's a chartered accountant as well, to help us with that. She's absolutely outstanding. Okay, but guys, that's the one section. There's good news though, long-term good news for you if you don't like FRA. Okay, it's not in the 3rd year syllabus, but it's in the level 1 and level 2. When we hit level 3, okay, it's not there anymore. So, but you got to get there, don't you? So learn to love FRA, guys. It's there. We got to love it. Is what it is. Okay, corporate finance. Okay, lovely section. It's only worth 7%, but a nice section. Gets bigger in level 2. Equity investments, also 10%. Alternative investments, okay, 4%. Small. We just touch basically on alternatives over there. The things like private equity funds, hedge funds, real estate, art, anything like that all comes under that 4%, which is amusing. I just wrote a paper now in September. I don't know if you guys have heard of CAIA. CAIA stands for Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst. Similar to the CFA, but there it's 100% focus on alternatives. A whole paper of 2 morning and afternoon session just on alternatives. Okay, and 2 separate years for that as well. But we'll do that afterwards, guys, don't worry. Let's first get CFA, then I've got other stuff for you after that. Okay, good. Fixed income. Another lovely section. Okay, 10%. Derivatives, 5%, and portfolio management, 7%. And what's interesting, portfolio management goes from 7% here to about 10% in level 2 to approximately 100% in level 3. And that's obviously, guys, where we need to be in level 3, is they're training you to be able to manage portfolios, to manage stocks, to manage bonds, to manage derivatives, to manage all of those instruments. So even if you're going to have a look at the level 3 syllabus and it says to you what it'll say over there, how much is portman or portfolio management? 45 to 55%, they're lying to you, okay? Because it's all portfolio management. Even the ethics sections in level 3 focus more on portfolio management than the other sections. Okay, so that's where we're going to get to, guys. Good news and bad news. FRA goes away in level 3, but level 3 is 2 years away for you guys. So don't think too far ahead. All you must think about is June time. What will happen after June time? Well, we'll talk then. Let's get level 1 behind us. Let's get level 2 behind us, and then level 3. Don't try and this is a big elephant, guys. We'll eat it slowly. Level 1 first, level 2, and then level 3. Okay, but just some nice things to keep in your mind that the horrible stuff does go away. Constant FRA go away a little bit in level 3, but we'll get there. Let's look at some of the numbers, guys. The CFA curriculum itself. I know you guys would have been sent an ebook. Okay. 3,249 pages, and it's small. Please don't read it. Okay. I should stop the recorder when I say that, because maybe they'll shout at me at the CFA. But guys, don't spend time on it. Is it a good book? It's a fantastic book, really, but it's not an easy read. It's not a summarized version. It's not an easy read. And yes, if you finish all of the other stuff and you've got one looking for more stuff, go back and have a look at there. If you want to address a specific section in there, yes, go and have a look there, but don't use it as your primary source of material. Okay. End of reading questions within that ebook, 1,572 questions. Okay. Good. Learning outcome statements, 529. Okay. And what's a learning outcome statement? At the beginning of every single reading, we give you the learning outcome statement to show you exactly what you have to know. Okay. There's 58 readings and 18 study sessions. If you have a look at your files, guys, okay, you've got 3 little tabs over there. Okay. Tab 1 is ethics, and tab 2 and tab 3 is quants. Okay. So, and that's what when we talk about over here, guys, study sessions in your file so far. I hope I didn't make anybody scared, but that's only 3 of the 18 study sessions. Okay. Study session 1 is ethics, study session 2 and 3 are quants and quants. Okay. So there's 18 overall. Okay. There we go. Any questions so far? Is everybody completely? Yes? No. No. Okay. Having said that, there's no negative marking. Maybe at Wits, I don't know. Wits was the... Yep. You don't need anything more. I can tell you one thing, guys. A recipe for success, I'll get you in 1 sec. A recipe for success, guaranteed success, is you attend all the lectures, attend the tutorials, okay, do all the questions over here, come to the revision course, and come and write the 6 practice exams as well. And guys, you paid for it all, so why not come? I'm not charging you more. Okay, and I mark those papers for you, and I give you feedback. I tell you where you're strong, I tell you where you're weak. So we're the only guys in the country that are doing this for you guys, and you paid for it. You don't need more, but you do need to do this. Okay. I had one girl that came to me. She said, "Can she meet with me?" I said, "Yeah, yeah." So she met with me in the boardroom over there as we walk in. She says to me, she just wants to get some advice for level 1 before she starts with us. So she walked in, and then there was 2 heavies behind her. I mean that respectfully, of course. 2 big guys, okay, and they were all carrying books. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "No, don't worry, she'll explain to me all." And she piled up my boardroom, literally my whole boardroom, with Schweizer study material, Wiley. Okay, you guys have heard of Wiley, Fitch, Prep Smarter, Analyst Online, Bloomberg's. There's a few of them, guys. of which we are one as well. The edge, you can put us in there as well. She put them all on the table. And we spoke for a little bit, and I'm just going to work on where the stuff all comes from. Okay, because keep in mind, guys, those study materials, if you buy them all per provider, is going to cost you around about close to $1,000 per full set of material. $1,000 now, I don't know what the rand is, I can't keep up. It's about 12 and a half, maybe 13. That's a lot of money. So this girl must have spent probably close to 100,000 rand on materials. Okay. She piled them all up, and then we spoke a little bit. She said to me, now my question, I don't know what she did with the two guys while we were talking, but anyway, they were just there to carry the books. Don't know. And I said to her, what does she want to know? She said, well, how does she use what must she do with all of these things? So I said, do you want my honest opinion? She says, yeah. And I took my hand, and I did this to all of her 100,000 rand, and they all went crashing to the floor. Boom, 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 boom. Tons of these books. And I said, you can bring the Oaks to come in and get the rest of the books. She said, what? I said, you need one set of books. That's it. I said, if you have a look at the books, Edge's material is very similar to Schweizer, is very similar to Wiley, is very similar to Fitch, Prep Smarter. I got a bit annoyed with Bloomberg's the other day. I sent them a message. They didn't respond. I don't know why. But I said, please stop telling the students that they can study this material quicker, that you've got a quicker way for them to study. I said, it's just bum time. Stop telling the students that there's a quick way, because you're deceiving them. There's no quick way to study this material. There's different techniques you can use, happy. But you've got to spend time in the chair, guys. You know, one guy said to me, a provider that he spoke to said they can do this in 100 hours. I said, yeah, maybe 3 or 4 times. Every junior will be doing it 100 hours. Guys, don't be fooled by any provider. You do need to put your time in. No one can tell it to you quicker. Because the more effort you put in, the more time you put in. And again, guys, I had one guy, okay, that just scraped level 1. And I know he scraped because I could see the marks. Okay, I'll show you what they show you when they give you your marks back. And he's writing level 2 for the 3rd time. Get yourself a good level 1. Put your time in here. There's no time wasted, guys. I promise you. The more time you put in, the more foundations you build at this level, guys. What happens in level 2? What are your 10 topics for level 2, by the way? Ethics, yeah. Quants, economics, FRA. Okay, you get the message. Nothing changes. It's exact. For level 1, level 2 is exactly the same as level 1. But it's a build. Now, if you haven't understood quants in level 1, and now we start level 2, we start to talk about level 2 material, time series, sampling, okay, regression, multiple regression. If you haven't done that in level 1, got the basics, you can't do it in level 2. Put your time in, I'm begging. It's only going to serve you well. Okay, good. So what material should you use? Obviously, we provide you with material. If you go through my material and you absolutely hate it, okay, then you're more than welcome to use Fitch, Schweizer, anything like that. I don't think you will, to be honest. It's good material. And someone said to me, if your material is good, is Schweizer's terrible? I said, no. Schweizer's is also good. As is Fitch's material good. I never knock a competitor. Their stuff is good. Their stuff is good. But having said that, I believe mine is also good. But just stick with one, guys. You don't need. We've just prepared for level 2, another 4,000 questions, which we've just produced for our level 2 set of notes. And I said, guys, enjoy them this year, because they were original this year. They said, what does that mean? I said, next year all the other providers are going to use them as well. Everybody does that, guys. Everyone uses questions from the other providers. And copies them and changes a few names here and there. That's what they do. So it's all, having said that, it's all very similar material, guys. So please don't spend too much time on getting yourself 3 or 4 sets of material. It's not going to improve your chances. What will improve your chances? Another hour in the chair. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about that chair for a second. How many hours do you have to put in, guys? Don't tell me 300. No, I don't like 300 by now. Okay. Now, you're going to come here every once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on some of the weeks. Just please, I'll show you in a second, just to focus on that timetable. Okay. If you're not at lectures for the day, my suggestion, my advice is that you put in anywhere between 1 to 2 hours a day. Okay. Minimum of 1, and don't kill yourself, guys. Don't put in 4 hours a day, because you'll be done by Feb. You'll be burnt. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. You put in a little bit of time every day. The key word is the C word. What's the C word? 2 C words I want. 2 C words. The one that men hate. Commitment. Okay. And the other one? Consistency. Commitment and consistency. When I say consistency, one of the girls phoned me and she said, after the first class, she said, after this thing, she's so nervous not to study one day, but she's got a wedding. I said, is it yours? She said, no, it's her friend's. I said, oh, what's the difference? And my advice to her was, on the day that her friend gets married, I know she's going to be the best, I don't know what they call them, the best person, I don't know what, but I said, do me a favor. Put in 5 minutes before you go to the chapel. 5 minutes. She said, what? I said, 5 minutes. Don't go one day without being immersed in CFA, guys. She said, but that sounds stupid. I said, it's not. I said, you know why it's not stupid? Because if you miss one day completely, what do you do the next day? You miss again. You're likely to miss again. And once you miss 2 days, you're probably going to miss 3. So if you're going to have a mad, crazy, horrible day, give me 2 minutes. Read one of the standards of professional conduct. Read an ethics standard. Don't go a day without CFA. It's commitment. And more important than the commitment is the consistency. It's an everyday thing. Okay. And that's how when your spouse says to you, can't you just not work for one day? What's your answer? I love you, but no. Okay. Every day. And if she says, but it's my anniversary, you say, no, it's our anniversary. Okay. You take her out, and when you get back, you read 5 minutes of ethics for me. Or do one multiple choice question. That's all. Okay. But on the whole, guys, try your best to put in an hour a day. Now, when's that hour? Everybody's different. Morning, you can even do it an hour at work if you get the time. Okay. Night time, whenever you get the time, whenever works best for you and obviously for your families. Okay. And then the big chunk is obviously going to be weekends, guys. Then my suggestion is you try to put in anywhere between 4 to 8 hours on the weekend. The best thing to do is what I always suggest to the guys, if you could, take a whole day to do it. Do 8 hours on one day, which gives you one weekend day for free. Not for free, of course, because you'll do 5 minutes, of course, but like do 8 hours on Saturday, and then Sunday take the family out for the day. Or take the family out on Saturday, and then you'll do your work and tell them, listen, guys, from now on for the next 6 months, I'm going to be working one day every weekend, is what it is. But compensate a little bit and take them out one day. Or do 4 hours and 4 hours on Sunday. 4 hours Saturday, 4 hours Sunday. Whatever works for you. But you're going to need to start to find yourselves, particularly on the weekends, chunks of time. It's hard. But my big advice to you guys is don't let this program grow big on you, because it grows big quickly. Because you'll find today we're doing ethics. Next Thursday we're doing ethics. Ethics is 15% of the syllabus. Next week, Thursday, we're done with ethics. Come next week after that, I start quants. 2 weeks later, I'm done with quants. Quants is 12%. I'm done 27% of the syllabus. The 15 of ethics and the 12 of quants. It grows quickly, quite big. It grows big quite quickly. Don't let it grow on you. Every day do some work, guys, and you're going to be fine. And of course, I'm available as well. Okay, let's have a quick look as we look at that. The calculator policy, guys, Texas Instruments. Unfortunately, guys, it's the only calculator that you can use. Obviously, you can use the HP as well, the Hewlett-Packard. Okay, it's the and it's not any Hewlett-Packard, guys. It's the HP 12C. Okay, the very specific one. We don't teach it here. Yep. We teach based on the Texas. All of the providers do as well. And I think the thinking behind it is anyone that's clever enough to use the HP knows how it works anyway. Okay, the Texas, is more of an entry-level basic calculator. I've used the 12C before. It confuses me every time. It works on the strange kind of logic. I don't know what the actuaries and the clever people use that. Okay, we're going to use the nice simple. Has everybody bought themselves a calculator? Okay. If not, what I'll do a little bit later, guys, is I'll post a picture of what your calculator looks like. So you're looking at around about 700-800 Rand, unfortunately. It's not a cheap calculator, but there's two. When we talk about this one, the Texas Instruments, guys, there's two. There's the normal one, and then there's the professional. You don't need the professional will cost you another, I think about another 200 Rand over and above. You don't need it. If you want to buy it and you've got lots of money, or you think it'll serve you better, everything that we need, guys, can be done with a normal Texas Instruments. Don't spend more money than, okay. You can save another $200, take yourself and your spouse out for their last dinner before you start working. Okay, good. No questions are repeated. Okay, I've never seen a CFA question repeated, but I wouldn't know. Why wouldn't I know, guys? Because standard, the very last standard that you guys need to know, standard 7B, says what? Of the standards of professional conduct under the ethics, that when you write your paper, you are not allowed to talk about the paper when you leave. So you go and you write your paper, and you want to come out and say, oh, I can't believe they asked, oh, that was so hard, what do you think about? Not a word, guys. You are not allowed to repeat a word of that paper when you come out. Shout? And that's what I said. I said, nobody knows what goes into the paper. No one knows the pass mark. No one knows how they mark. You can't get a remark unless you want to just ask them just to recalculate the marks for you again. Your numbers, that's all. This is the secret society. Having said that, guys, okay, and one of the chartered accountants asked me, why do I put CFA before my CA? You know, I've got the two designations. I put CFA first and then CA. So it depends which audience I'm in. If I'm with the CAs, I say, well, I have to put the CFA first because that's what I lecture in. That's my business. When I'm with the CFAs, I said, I love my CFA more. Okay, but this is not true, of course. I love them equally. Okay, I'm just more involved in the CFA work. So, having said that, the CA is also is a wonderful, wonderful designation, particularly in this country. The CA is the king in this country. Okay, so all good stuff. We don't compare those. Okay, guys, a little bit of else what I want to do with you guys. Okay, every session that we're going to meet. Okay, I just want to tap in a little bit to our general knowledge. When I say general knowledge, I'm not talking about general knowledge. You know, what forest sits there, what country is that. I'm talking about investment general knowledge, guys. So, and what I wanted to do, and I did this for the level 3s on Monday night, to find that there's a huge lack of knowledge in this particular area. So I'm going to focus on this 5, 6, 7 minutes every time that we meet, just to give us a bit of an insight. And the area that I want to focus on specifically, just to give us a bit more than is looking at the cryptocurrencies. I just think it's a very, very topical thing, and there's a massive lack of understanding here. So what I wanted to do is just to chat about that a little bit. Every session we meet, just 5 minutes, just to give us a bit of an understanding of the cryptocurrencies. And obviously, that's not Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's a small piece of the block. Okay. We'll do that. The level 3s really enjoy that. Let's see if it works for us as well. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's have a quick look at the program. Okay, what do you get? You get a full set of notes. What's in your notes? If you have a look over there, guys, I've only given you the first 3 study sessions, which is ethics and quants 1 and quants 2. Okay, if you come again next week, I'm going to give you the balance. 2, maybe 3 more files, which will be the rest of the study session, which will obviously be economics, equities, Portman, everything else as well. I'm hoping to get that done and fully printed by next week. Okay, what is it? Not that I expect you to read it all. What do I expect from you? Okay, nothing coming into class. Absolutely nothing. Okay. I hope I didn't upset anyone with that. Okay, good. So the notes that you get, guys, and this is how we lecture. Okay, I lecture off the notes. I don't use slides. I put the lecture, the same notes that you've got in your files, I put on the board, and we lecture off that. And the reason that I do that, guys, is that when you then go and read them a second time, you've seen them all one time before. You know what's important, you know what's less important, as opposed to me using slides, and then the first time you read your notes, it's the first time you've seen them, and you're not really completely sure how to navigate them. We do that in class. So you've got notes. At the end of the notes, you've got summaries. After those summaries, you've got questions and answers. So what I do expect, minimum from you guys, is when the class finishes, till we meet again, okay, if you can read the next reading, because I tell you what I'm going to do the next week, all the better. If you can't, doesn't matter. What I do want you to do, at least minimum, is that you go over the notes again, read them through, make sure you've understood everything, come back with questions should you have any, have a look at the summary, and make sure you do all the questions and answers at the end of every reading that are in your notes, in your files. You do that, you've kept up to date. Is that enough? No. You're going to. This will keep you very much on top of the program until the end of April. What happens then? April, we go into a revision course, a revision program, an intensive 24 hours, weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and then after that, we go into 6, and sometimes if guys want more, we do 8 or 10 exams after that. Then you are exam ready. Okay, so we'll do that. I'm just going to skip to point 4, tutorials, guys. The tutorials will get you more ready as well, and I just beg of you guys, I know it's a Sunday, but you can count it as your 4 hours. Count it as your 4 hours. And I've been very kind, okay? We're starting the tutorials at 9 o'clock on a Sunday. I don't know, people seem to want to sleep on a Sunday. Okay, is what it is. So we're starting at 9 o'clock on a Sunday, 9 till 1. No, normally we don't go all that's the latest that we'll finish is by 1. But it gives you almost a forced time that you've got to sit here, go over questions. There's a lecturer in front of you, and will help you how to interpret those answers. Very, very, very valuable. Okay, then we've got the revision program and the exam program. The revision program, if you have a look over here, I'm going to take you down a little bit. Okay, the revision course is 4th, 5th, and 6th of May. And then we go and write 6 papers. 13th, 20th, 27th, 3rd of June, 10th of June, 10th of June. And remember, once you finish the 6th paper over here on the 10th of June, you've still got a full almost 2 weeks until you write. So just to reinforce, that's why this extra 2 weeks, 3 weeks that we've been given over and above when we normally have is a lifesaver. Okay, we're going to make lots and lots. And if we finish on the 10th of June, you say, please, can we write another 4 papers? I'm good to go. Okay, I'll be guided by you. It's not that I've only got 6 exams, guys. I've got plenty more. Okay, so if you do need, we've got more, and we can give those to you. Okay, so that's the so what's the program? Come to class. What must you do afterwards? Go over it again, do your questions, come to the tutorials. That'll keep you going until the end of April. 4th of May, we start with the revision course, run for 3 intensive days. We go 8:30 till 5, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and then the exams you'll write. The only day you need to book leave for, if you are planning to come to the revision course, and I really suggest that you do, is this Friday the 4th of May, because that is a weekday. It's a full weekday. We go 8:30 till 5. Okay. What else do I want you to do right now, tomorrow, when you get back to the office? Is anyone the boss of their own firm here? Any bosses? Okay. So the bosses, less important for you guys, but for the not bosses, is book your leave now. Work backwards. So say, okay, 23rd of June, okay, that's a Saturday. That's when I'm going to write the paper. Okay. I believe I need it, and guys, probably 2 weeks leave, book it now. Don't go to your boss, I'm telling you, don't go to your boss on the 1st of June and say, I'd like to take leave next week. What's he going to tell you? Not going to happen. Okay. The only one that loves your CFA, unless your boss is a CFA charter holder as well, is yourself, guys. Look after yourselves. Okay, I've had so many guys, and I cry for these guys. They work hell of a hard until the time, but then they just don't have time to do that final push because their bosses won't give them leave. Book your leave now. Okay, and make it. Yes, there might be an emergency. I understand that, and your boss might say, "Listen, you have to work." Okay, might be, but do your best. You do your level best to get yourself as prepared as you possibly can. Okay. Guys, that is I think, I can't scare you anymore, but that is the CFA level 1. Any questions? Yep. Not necessarily. That's a good 2 weeks. Yeah. Some people feel they only need a week. Some people need 2 weeks. Some people might need it more. Some people might say, well, I lectured the guys at Alexander Forbes. I did a private course for them, and there they give them study leave as well per paper. So they took that, they took the annual leave, they took, these guys that were writing the Kaya paper, they weren't seen at work for like months. Okay, that's a bit long. Okay, but take what you can. Okay, give yourselves the best chance, guys. It's soul destroying when you come in and you're like 80% baked. And if you were 100% baked, you would have passed, but you just do it for yourselves. Okay, put in that little bit extra, because if you do, okay, it's just a timing thing, guys. No one in this course is clever than anybody else. We're all clever. Okay, you're going to work harder and smarter. That's what's going to get you through. Put your hours in. Book your hours now. Talk to your families. Buy their commitment. Okay, however you do it, try your best to explain to them. Tell them that you had this mad lecturer tonight who says that this course is insane and you need 600 hours. Okay, tell them some story, but try and get their buy-in as well, because with family support it becomes so much easier. Okay, you don't want to have to fight every Saturday morning, and your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, cat, dog, okay, says to you, "Where are you going? Are you going to the library again? Or are we going to see you at 5? Yeah. Okay. But I'll have off tomorrow to play with you guys, or we'll do something tomorrow or something. Try to get the buy-in early. If you explain to them the severity of this course and how much you are likely and needing to work from the start, it normally works a lot better. Don't try and get the buy-in once you're never at home. They just think you're having an affair, guys. I don't know what. It can't be that anyone's working this hard, but you do need to work this hard. Okay. And they see you going to work an hour earlier. I know why you're going an hour earlier. Okay. Take a picture of yourself working if you have to, but that's often good. You miss the traffic as well. Okay. But again, I'm not prescribing that in any manner, guys, because I know everybody's got different circumstances. Work to your strengths. If you're a night person, work at night. If you're a morning person, get up a little bit earlier. If you can't work at all during the week because your work pressure is so crazy, whatever, put in half an hour, 20 minutes. Okay. Consistent, okay, and commitment. Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. You know the. Okay. When I did this, you'll laugh, but when I did this designation, okay, I did it before the turn of the century. Okay. I got my charter in 1999. At that point in time, I got my charter just because I loved investments. So for the CAs, what I did was I did 3 years worth of articles at a firm. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, Arthur Andersen. Okay. It's subsequently dead, obviously, as a result of the Enron disaster. I did my articles there, and for 3 years of articles, I was bored so stiff that for those 3 years, I did 1 level of CFA per year of articles, and I was even luckier, okay, because I did all my articles at the banks and brokers and that. So my 3 years of auditing articles also counted as CFA articles. Now you need 4 years of experience to get your CFA charter. Then you needed 3. So I was lucky I came out with a nice bunch at the end of that. I then applied for a position. Well, I got approached. I don't know if you guys have heard of a company called Kagiso. Okay, Kagiso is now merged with TISO. It's KTH Holdings. I was there for about 10 years. But after I got the position there, and the guy said to me, I was just sitting with the MD of the business. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, a guy, Johnson and Jackie. They took him JJ. Most marvelous human being you've ever met. He was a partner at Price Waterhouse for 14 years before he joined Kagiso. And he said to me, "You know why you got this job?" I said, it's a hard question to ask someone. Why do you think I got the job? So I thought I was good. He said, "No, you are good." He says to me, "But do you know who you were competing with?" He asked me. I said, "No." He said, "There was 19 other CAs with you. You were the 20th the CA jury." He said, "But you were the only one," because bear in mind it was 1999. okay, that had a CFA. He said that swung it. That was then. Now it's almost become an entry level into all of these positions: analyst, broker, wealth management, that kind of thing. It's becoming quite entry level in South Africa, even US, of course, UK, anywhere you go now. CFA is the gold standard. It's highly transportable, of course, to the US, but everywhere else as well. I mean, if you look at the demographics of the CFA, it's everywhere. It's China, it's India, and the funny thing is that everybody has to write this designation in English. Okay, so if you want an edge over the Chinese people, they got to write it in English. So we've got a bit of an edge. The Indian guys got to write it in English. Okay, so it's become highly transportable. Now, do you need to go all the way? Okay, most of the time, let me be honest with you, not that I ever want you to. I had one guy in level 2 who said he's had enough. I said, you mad? He passed level 1, level 2, and then he just stopped. I wanted to kill him. Okay, I couldn't understand that. But everyone's different. Anyway, basic entry now, they want you to have a level 1. Okay. At least that shows a commitment to the CFA program. So what you do after that, I don't know, but generally speaking, yes, a level 1 has value in and of itself. Okay, so doesn't mean you must stop, of course. Okay, but in and of itself, level 1 is a valuable, even level 1 on its own is a valuable proposition. Okay, this is the gold standard of investments, guys. Really, I'm not trying to set it because you're here already. If I was trying to set it to you, then, but you're here already. You're really getting the best of the best. Okay, there's a lot of other designations out there, as I said, like Kaya, but Kaya again is focused on a specific section, alternative investments. FRM, I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Okay, FRM is focused, we're going to offer that next semester, by the way, is focused on risk, financial risk managers. PRM, also a risk designation. Okay, CIMA, cost and management accounts. So there's all these different ones where a CFA is a pure investment designation with just a lot of credibility in the market. Why it got so much, I can't tell you. Okay, but it rose to the top of the pile. Okay. Anyone else? Yep. It's too much. You're looking tired already, man. No, I'm just kidding. Let me tell you a story about the CTA guys. This is the accounting guys. The CTA guys, what they do is they write their honors program. It's called CTA, and then they go and write their board paper if they pass. I had one guy come to me, grown man, grown 25-year-old, 26-year-old, crying his eyes out. I said, what's the problem? He says, no, everybody else is doing 3 case studies every day, and he's just managing to do 2, and even those 2, he's not doing them that well. He's not fully understanding what he's doing. I said, you're an idiot. I said, well, why are you doing? It's not in the quantity per se. Quantity, of course, is important. You've got to have your bum in the chair. Okay, without quantity, there's no quality. Am I right? There's got to be quantity, but the key is the quality of that quantity. When you're sitting in the chair, if you sit on that chair, guys, from 5 p.m. to 9, you're sitting like this. And then you pull out the phone, flip, SMS, WhatsApp, and then you're checking the weather, and then you go to watch the Discovery Channel, because when you study, you can watch any channel, can't you? You're not specific. Any channel will do. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I would far rather that you put 1 hour in at night, and you put the phone away, you put the husband away, you put the kids away, whatever you got. All put away, you close the door of your study, your room, your office. That's why it's nice to do it at the office if you can, because it's less disturbed, wherever you are. And put in a solid hour. A solid hour is worth more than a disturbed 3 or 4 hours. That's why I say come to the tutorials, guys, because those 4 hours you hear, no one's going to disturb you. I tried it once. It didn't work, but I did try it, and I put a little box in the front. I said, please, Paul, put your cell phones over there. But they didn't trust me. Okay, they didn't do it. But anyway, so I told this guy, I said, do one case study only every day. But what I ask of you is that case study, you do it properly, you do a full post-mortem on it, and you understand it properly what you've done. He said, but then he won't do as much as the other people. I said, well, I don't care. You come to me for advice. This is the advice I'm giving you. Quality, deep understanding is always going to be better than huge amounts of work. Anyway, he said to me, can he trust me? I said, well, you don't have a choice, because at this point, you're a basket case. So either you trust me, or he trusted me for CTA level 1. Okay? And he passed. He was sold. He did the same thing for level 2. He passed. And he used to laugh with me. He used to come and say, see those guys, look at those chaps over there working 3 case studies, not understanding what they're doing. But what do they do at the end of the day? Oh, what a great day I had. 3 case studies. Tick, tick, tick. What did I understand? Absolutely nothing. Guys, it's not in that. Don't fool yourselves into thinking that bump time, 4 hours in the chair, is 4 hours of quality. Okay. 4 hours in the chair is 4 hours in the chair. What you do in the chair is what's going to count. I would far rather, and I'm telling you this, guys, honestly and openly, put your cell phones away. Okay? Put every disturbance away. And if you have, and guys, if you tell me that you can sit in that chair for 4 hours, focused, you know what I tell you? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Okay, focus time, guys, generally speaking, is probably about an hour. Most of us have got about an hour's retention, an hour focus time. So what you do is sit strongly for an hour, and if you can do 2 hours, sit for an hour, get up, stretch your legs, okay, have a cup of coffee, go and greet your husband, tell him at least you're still around, whatever, you're alive, things are good, you're just working, okay, and go back and do another 45 minutes or something like that. Guys, I'm telling you now, 4 hours now, it's too long. It's too long. Okay, and we'll do the maths. Work it out. I don't know. Do the maths. We've got just under 6 months. And remember, the last month is going to be a crazy month. Don't peak now. Because if you peak now, comes June time. I had one girl that did it, level 3. I said, stop working. She said, but you tell us to work. I said, you're working too hard. Okay, and she got sick a week and a half before the final paper. And she got a 9, guys. 9's horrible. You know what a 9 is? Okay, so we'll end off with this, and we'll just take a break, and then we will start some work. Okay, what happens at the end of the day is you get a letter from the CFA. You write your paper, and the CFA sends you a letter. They say to you, the letter that you will all get will be just the one. It'll say, congratulations, you have passed CFA level 1. You are among the 42% of people that have passed, blah, 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 blah. Brilliant. Sometimes, some people, not you, of course, but some people may get a letter and say, unfortunately, we regret to inform you that you did not pass level 1. What they then do is they grade you. You get between a 1, okay, to 10. Now, 10, the 1 to 10 means how good or how bad was your fail. Okay, so a 1 is a shocking fail, because that means that in relation to everybody else's marks within the whole universe of people, you were the lowest. So you failed really badly. Okay, a 10 means you failed really well. Okay, and I cry for the 10s, guys, because the 10s means that out of your 240 multiple choice questions, you probably needed 3 more to get right. That's it. 3, maybe 4. Okay, guys, please don't get me 9s and 10s. Either pass or get me a 1. Okay, because then at least you get a 1. I say, okay, listen, you weren't in the game. You never understood anything. You didn't do any work. Okay, you got a 1. We know what to do with you. You're going to work next time, aren't you? Okay, but a 10 means you were this close. Okay, when you hear people talk about 10s, those are the guys really. I mean, I feel for those people, because that's a year, guys. That's a year, and for what? 2 or 3 marks. Okay, so I'm not saying don't work. I've told you to work and work and work and work, but don't overwork. There's a balance, and you know that yourself. Everybody knows themselves how much they can work, and when you're getting too tired and when the work is becoming too horrible for you, slow it down a bit. Slow it down a bit, guys. This is a marathon. You've got to keep running for 6 months now. You're not running for. It's not a race. It's not over tomorrow. But you can put everything in and just say, "Whoa, now I can rest." You can't rest. You can't rest. You can rest in June, the 23rd, 5 p.m. Okay, not before. But having said that, we take a moderate consistent approach, not a maddening approach. An hour a day. Okay, but when I say an hour a day, please, and you'll hear my voice when you start to do your work, put the cell phone away. I promise you that no one needs you in that hour. And if they do, let them find another way of getting hold of you. If you don't check WhatsApp for an hour, what happens to you? Has anybody ever contracted a rare illness of sorts by not checking WhatsApp for an hour? Okay. No, it's something that I've taught myself now because I was quite bad on it as well. I put the phone away when I study. When I'm working, I put the phone away. And yeah, my wife sometimes says to me, I needed to get hold of you. I was working. What happens if you go into a meeting and your spouse can't get hold of you? Well, then they can't. You're in a meeting. You're not in the meeting the whole day. You're in the meeting for an hour. You'll come out. Check your WhatsApps. Hi, honey, I love you. I'm going back in for an hour. Not the end of the world, guys. The key is focused learning. It's not so much the hours, it's both. It's quantity, but it's the quality of that quantity. Okay. And by the way, the end of the CTA story was not a laugh, because I just feel sad for him as well. He was edges among the top 2 or 3 students of that year, and he failed. He failed because he burnt out completely. He did 3 case studies a day. Okay, no one can do 3 case studies a day, not with feedback and not with post-mortems and not with understanding anything. And came close to the exam time and he burnt out and he failed. He was back. And this year he did it again, not this year, 2017, and I coached him a little bit and I guided him. And you know what? He was a happier person and he passed. He's writing ITC now in January. Happy as can be. You'll see him, he's there. I'll point him out if you want. Okay, because he knows he's my case study. Both of them are for moderate, consistent work with good, strong understanding behind the work. Don't read something for an hour. If you've read something for an hour and I say to you, what did you read, and you don't even know, that wasn't a good hour. Okay. Yep. Yep. So level 1. Well, let me just tell you that quick. So level 1 you can write in June and December. Okay, not that you want to use it as a insurance policy, but it is something nice just to calm you down, that you don't lose any time on the other guys if they pass in June and you don't, because again you can write it in December. Worst case, December 18. Okay, the next time, level 2 and level 3 you can only write in June. Okay, so assuming you guys all pass now in June, which you will, you'll write level 2 in June 19 and level 3 in June 20. Okay. So what we've done over here is we call it the early start program, particularly for level 2 and 3 because it is more intense. We start that in September. So you got September, October, November, and the guys say December. I said I'm not interested, so I let them go normally about the 10th of December, and then we bring them back mid-Jan again. So you get them a full month off. I don't know who needs more than that. Okay, December time, and then so you're really working for 9 months for level 2 and level 3. It just gives you much more of an edge over the guys. But again, you can only write that paper June and June. Okay, any questions? You exhausted and scared? Good. Okay, we don't mean to scare you. Of course not, guys. Of course, that's not the intention. But just the last little bit of admin before we take a break is what I do as well is just to create a little bit of love between the people. Okay, because you all need each other's support here. Okay, this is one big family. When we write tests together, everyone says, well, are you going to publish all the results together? I said, it doesn't make any difference if your friend got 40 and you got 60. We're all in this together, guys. It's not about who did the best. We're working together as a team. I don't like that attitude at all of who's the best student in this class. It's of no interest to me. You're all the best students. You're all going to work hard. There's no competition in this class with each other. Okay. You compete with yourselves. You know yourself. You work with yourself. So what we do, guys, is we create what's called a WhatsApp group. You can check your WhatsApp messages. Is anybody not on WhatsApp? Brilliant. So I'm going to send the form round. It's a bit strange because there's about 30 people here and I've only got 7 on my list. It doesn't matter. Okay, you'll register. I always tell the guys, don't stress. I'm not on the finance side or on the registration side. So whenever you do that, you do that. That's your own. Okay, but what I do ask of you guys, we won't do it now. We'll do it when you guys will get back. I'll send the form around. Just put your name down there for me with your cell phone number as well. And guys, I promise you, just 2 things I ask. Number one, on my commitment is I don't sell your numbers to our competitors, of course. That would just be stupid. Okay. And number 2 is, guys, I once had a class here of 3rd year Mac students, and I asked them all for their cell phone numbers, and the one girl picks up her hand and says, "Do we have to?" I said, "No. You know, it's a help, but if you don't want to," I said, "Well, like, you know." I said, "I can see you're a bit very, very, I mean, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but a very pretty girl. Maybe she's been harassed before. I don't know what." So I said to her, "You know, let me explain something to you and I'll give you guys the same message." Okay. I run the CFA program. I do CTA for the Mac guys. I do 3rd year Mac. I've got 5 kids. Okay. 5 kids. I've got 4 boys. Okay. 14-year-old boy, twin 11-year-olds, boys, a 5-year-old girl, and an 18-month-old little boy. Okay. Until recently, we had 2 snakes at home, 10 Rex, those are hedgehogs. Okay. I've got a mother, a father, brothers and sisters, a wife. Okay. I said to this girl, I looked at her, I said, "I don't have time to harass you." Okay. Having said that, guys, and having said that, I work tirelessly for this class, as I do for the level 2s and 3s. You must understand, you can message me anytime that please, if you could just have the respect, I do sleep, but normally between 1 and 3. Okay, I used to sleep between 1 and 3, but my 18-month-old is not a sleeper, so he's up then anyway. So, and if I don't get you straight away, guys, I will get you. Just WhatsApp me, and so it's a very valuable thing. Anyway, the end of the story was that this girl who refused to put her number on the group, completely her prerogative, UNISA then changed the exam date. I posted it to the WhatsApp group and she missed the exam. Okay, I'm not threatening you, of course. I'm not trying to make you scared, but okay, it does help. And we're all in this together, guys. You need each other's support, and it's only of benefit to all of you. Okay, what I'm going to do now, guys, is it's about 7:30 approximately. Guys, take about 15 minutes break. For those that are not familiar with the campus, okay, of course, you guys know within a week or 2 we're going to be moving to Sandton. Okay, I'm just sitting on the builders' heads at the moment. A progress report, the lease it's in Sandton City Towers, office towers. Okay, the lease has been signed. It was signed. When was it signed? Exactly the wrong day, 15th of December. 17. When do the builders go away? 16th. So no builder would build for me. They started now already. So we're a week or 2 away, but everything is in place. There's nothing other than that to keep us back. So in terms of this campus, guys, we may have some tuts here, but I'll keep you all posted as we go along. But if you walk along the promenade, okay, there are coffee shops. Spa closes at 8. That's why I always have our first break before 8, because there's some lovely food over there if you want your dinner. Take about 15-20 minutes and then come back. Okay, any questions, come to the front.